Most people think they have to choose between a movie theater experience and actually being able to see their screen when the sun is out. It is a frustrating trade-off that has defined the television market for years. Either you buy a screen with perfect blacks that gets washed out by a single lamp, or you get a bright screen that looks gray and muddy in the dark. But there's a new contender in the mini light-emitting diode world that is trying to end that debate once and for all. This latest series is a massive leap forward for anyone who refuses to sit in a dark cave just to watch a movie. It uses a specialized light control technology focused on color purity and extreme brightness. Think of it as thousands of tiny, intelligent spotlights working in perfect harmony behind the glass. The system uses hundreds, and in some sizes thousands, of these dimming zones to pinpoint exactly where the light should be. This means a bright moon and a dark sky look sharp instead of like a blurry smudge. It is a level of precision that used to be reserved for the most elite displays on the planet. Now, it is sitting right there in a mid-range model. This helps solve that annoying glow you often see around white text on a black background. It is not a perfect solution. You might still notice a tiny bit of haloing if you look really closely at a difficult scene, especially if you are watching from a sharp angle. But compared to the screens from just a few years ago, the improvement is night and day. The peak brightness levels here are genuinely staggering. While those fancy, ultra-expensive, organic screens struggle against a sunny window, this display fights back with raw power. It makes high dynamic range highlights pop with a level of intensity that feels grounded in reality. If you are a gamer, this is where the excitement really kicks in. We are looking at a native refresh rate that makes movement look incredibly fluid. It supports all the latest high-speed connections for your modern consoles. This ensures there is zero lag when the action gets intense. There is even a special mode that pushes the motion smoothness even further for competitive play. It handles fast-paced sports or racing games without that distracting motion blur that usually ruins the vibe. On the software side, it uses a very familiar interface that puts all your streaming apps and voice controls in one easy spot. It is snappy and responsive. The built-in audio actually carries more weight than I expected too. Most thin screens sound like a tin can, but this system supports spatial audio and has some actual punch. You will probably still want a dedicated soundbar for a full cinematic setup, but for everyday watching, it is surprisingly capable. One tip for when you first get it home is to check the settings. Out of the box, the colors can look a bit too intense and neon. If you take 5 minutes to adjust the color tone, the results are much more natural. You get a picture that actually looks like what the director intended. There are still trade-offs to consider. If you are a purist watching in a pitch-black room, you will not get those infinite blacks. But when you look at the price, those gripes feel very small. You're getting nearly all of that flagship performance for a fraction of the cost. It is a bright, punchy, and reliable option that handles everything you throw at it with ease. This is the logical choice for the modern home.